It's Monday. Happy Motivational Monday to all of you. Hopefully, you've had a great start of your day. Of course, I have. We got 4 days. 4 days until Christmas break. I'm 15 minutes late trying to get this together. I got a deal going on, a real estate deal with one of my investor clients. So hopefully they pull the trigger and get this done today with this apartment building in Jackson, Mississippi. So looking forward to that. How was everybody's weekend? I hope you had a great weekend. My great weekend was great. I spent some time with my baby. Um, there was a fashion exhibit at the African American Museum. So I took her to that. My baby's into fashion. So I took her to that this weekend and she loved it. I feel naked without my earrings. Like, oh my God. But she loved it. My daughter's into fashion. It was I forgot the designer's name, but her name is I think it's Ruby. She's done designs for the Black Panther movie, Coming to America, or the second Coming to America, Do the Right Thing. Like a lot of movies. Never thought that happened. But yeah, so that was a great weekend. So drop a one in the comments if you're watching this live, drop a two if you're new to my live, and drop a three if you're watching the replay. And I really appreciate it. My name is Toria Howard. I am a educator, right? I'm inside my classroom right now. I teach 6th to 8th grade English, but I'm a real estate professional and I also teach financial literacy. And today we're talking about financial literacy for your children. So it's the Christmas season. It's all about the children, right? So, I've done this before and I do it every year around this time. Well, I should say, going on, 2.5 years, about to be three. Um, I do this every year and I talk about the things that you can do. I know everybody probably bought their children gifts, but if you're still looking for gifts to give your children or you know of some children you need to give some gifts to, these are some things. I'll give you 5 tips. These are some things that you can do to raise financially savvy children during this time period, right? So I know, like I said, traditionally you get the video games and all the toys and the things, but you are basically investing in money, investing your money into something that doesn't appreciate, that doesn't help them grow in their finances, doesn't help their finances grow or yours. So you're investing in things that they're not even going to play with next week, let alone next year. So here are some things that you can do to help you with some gift giving. Those of you that are aunts, uncles, godparents, grandparents, even mothers and fathers, if you're still thinking of some things to give your children, one thing that you can do is open a savings account for them. Right? If you have not done this already, they have custodial accounts at different banks that you can do. um, but what you do is you consider all of the parameters, right? So, what are the interest rates? What are the fees? What are the accessibilities? These are just the minimum things. So, some suggestions that I can give you is Ally Bank. They have a kids savings account for kids that are under the age of 18. Capital One has one. It's good to have a good relationship with top tier banks, and Capital One is one of those top tier banks. So, if you get your child a account with Capital One and they turn it over once they are adults, they have a relationship with a top tier bank. They have competitive fees and rates as well. PNC Bank, theirs is called S is for savings. Allant Credit Union. Credit unions are good top tier companies to have on your, banks to have on your credit report. There's called Kids Savings Account, and then Chase. Chase is a very good bank to have as well. So Chase First Banking, children as young as 6 to 17 can have that account. So, you know, those of you like my daughter, right? She like money for Christmas, so I'm going to open up her, and I know she's going to get money, and I make her save 20% of the money that she gets. Anytime my daughter gets allowance, anytime she gets any money from anybody, I make her save 20%. Now, I used to do it in jars back in the day. So you could start off even slower if you don't want to put it in the bank, because I know banks are kind of right now. But I did jars. It's a jar method. So, I made her save 20%. She had to put 10% for savings and 10% for giving. And I let her see it. And I let her spend the 80%. But I made sure that when she spent the 80%, that it was on something that she actually needed and that was going to be an added value to her, not just something that was, frivolous. Now, when she went to the movies or did something with her friends, I did let her spend the money then, but that was a way for me to teach her how to be financial literate by showing her how to do it. Create a budgeting game, right? So, making children learn how to budget. Now, this goes for those preteen up to teenagers, right? Because when they're in their preteen stage, they need stuff. They want their own soaps. I don't know how many of you, your children have like a whole skincare routine. The ones that has girls, right? My daughter has like a whole skincare routine that she wants all these different products, all the masks and eye rollers and all these different things. So creating a budget for those things and the things they want to do with their friends and all of that can help them be more financially literate, but making it to a game. Give your child a hypothetical budget for the holiday spending, right? And involve them in the planning on how to allocate those funds. Make it into a game, decorations, festive expenses. This is a hands-on experience for them. And it helps them understand on how to spend their money, and they'll be able to see how they're spending their money. But make it fun for them, right? You know, give them some type of incentive for creating this budget. Make it like maybe a scavenger hunt, or something. Just be creative, right? As parents. Another thing that you can do to get, for your child to be more financially savvy for the holiday season, buy them stock into things that they're into, Robux, and I don't know what else, anime stuff, they whatever they into these days, right? Legos. I know boys, they love the Legos, right? So who owns Legos? So when they get this money that they're getting, um, for Christmas, I know, like I said, if you some of the kids are getting, money for Christmas or whatever the case may be. Let their investment or their savings for that be in some stock, something that they like. Like I said, Robux. Whoever is Legos. I don't know if it's hands. I don't know who do Legos, but whatever it is, whoever makes the video games. Because what is it? The PS5, right? I think that's Microsoft. So the PS5 is Microsoft. Let them invest in and Microsoft is growing with this AI technology. So, just make sure, you are looking for, things that they can invest in, um, and, make it fun for them. Now, there are different, I know, Cash App has a kids account where they can invest. Um, and it's on there, right? So you can go and invest in on the Cash App. You can create them a Cash App, a kids Cash App. I did it for my daughter, and create a Cash App for them. But it's also the kids' credit card that they have. I can't think of the name of it right now. Should have wrote it down. But they have an investment account on there since my daughter has one. It's called oh uh dang, it's GC. It's on there. Now it's now it's baffling me. Um, Dang, what is the name of it? They have an investment portion on theirs. Um, Let me see if I can find it because I'm drawing a blank. Green Light. Greenlight has a portion on there where you can put money on their card for them, teach them how to use a credit card, but they also have an investment portion. So Cash App and Greenlight both have that. So if you open up a Cash App kids account that is tied to yours, because I just did it for my daughter, they have a portion on there where you can go and invest for, they can invest in things on there. Greenlight does it too. But that's another way for them to learn how to use credit, for one, by putting that money on there. So, put their Christmas money on that Greenlight card or that Cash App card. Show them how to spend and show them how to invest in there. And if you don't know how, learn with them, right? So that's another way. Buy financially literate gifts, right? Like books and things of that nature. So I'm going to give you some suggestions on some books that used for different age groups. Because I teach mostly middle school. They have some for elementary, middle school, and high school. Now, did y'all know? I know back in the day, I used to read Bernstein Bears books. I used to love them. And they had a lot of life lessons, a lot of financial life lessons that came with that. Um, One of the things that for elementary school students, so if you have them from first to fifth grade, the Bernstein Bears Trouble with Money book. So it introduced them to the basics of money concepts and relatable and entertaining at the same time. Then you have Alexander, who used to be rich last Sunday. That's a good one. It's an adventure of Alexander, and he learns about money and how to spend it and the consequences of his choices. And the other one is the chair for my mother. So that is it's like a it shows you the importance of savings and hard work and rewards patience, right? So that's for elementary school kids. So for middle school, so those that are between the age of 11 and 13, Lemonade War by Jacqueline Davies. It's a series that teaches concepts of entrepreneurship, financial literacy through two siblings' eyes, right? The Toothpaste Millionaire by Jean Murrell, that introduces children to entrepreneurship, product development, and financial resources. My daughter wants to be a entrepreneur. She wants to be a designer. So I'm definitely going to get that book for her because I just found out about it today that builds her financial IQ. Like I said, I started my daughter with the jar method. And that's an easier concept when she was like 7, like between 6 and 8. We did the jar method for no between 6 and 10 she did the jar method, and then she ended up getting the green light card when she was 10, and I started making her do her stuff on her budgeting, because on the green light card you can do budgeting, you can do the investing, you can do the savings. So I made her start doing it on there instead so she could see it digitally, so she wouldn't have the jars out, but she understood the concept. Another one for middle school kids is The Girl Who Never Made Mistakes by Mark Pete and Gary Robeston. So that encourages them to, don't think about perfectionism, but learning from mistakes and resilience. So those are for middle school. So for high school, you have Rich Dad, Poor Dad for teens. Okay. Robert Kiyosaki. I have read the one for adults, but the one for teens is really good. It's adapted from the regular version. Then you have The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko, which is not exclusively for teens, but is a valuable insight into building wealth and making sound financial decisions. And then the other one, the last one, is OMG, Official Money Guide for Teenagers by Susan Beecham and Michael Beecham. So what that does is it tells them about various financial topics from budgeting to investing, and it's designed specifically for teenagers. So that's something that those of you that are looking for a gift to give, especially if you have those that are avid readers, those are some books that you can give for financial literacy. Now, the last thing is giving back charitable contributions in their name, giving away, showing them that, they can help people by giving. And there's nothing wrong with that. I did that, like I said, with the jar method. So with my daughter, and she had a saving investing one, and then she had a charitable, like a giving one. So we went to church, so she would give at church, and then she would give, she liked giving with from the Salvation Army. When she loves seeing the people with the bells and everything, so she'll give then, and then she also liked giving to anything that has to do with pets, because she's a pet owner. She has a dog named Princess. So whatever it is that they feel like they want to invest in, or we should give to, ask them opinion, have these conversations with your children. And I know, like I said, I know everybody has had the opportunity to buy all the gifts and stuff like that, but I just wanted to come through and give you some other ways, because this is the gift that will keep on giving. If you give the gift of financial literacy to your children, this is a gift that will keep on giving, and they will never have to worry about money again. Let them learn from the mistakes that, well, I should say the lessons, the financial lessons that we have had, by implementing these things. Like I said, you can start if you have little children and you give them things like money and for whatever it is, or they get money for Christmas. Start a jar method. Okay, 80%, or if you want to do 60%. Look, if you want to be real stringent, I had a friend who did 60% for her children. She did 60%, and they had to invest 20 and give 20. So, because they she felt like, look, I provide all your needs, 60% is good. So I did 80%. I'm a little bit more lenient, but start a jar method. Put a jar with, invest slash save, and then put give. Right. They have those jars. But you also, like I said, let's recap. So you can do a savings account. Chase has one for kids. Some credit unions have some for kids. Capital One, PNC Bank. Some of these have specific savings accounts for children. Um, but you can take it a step further. Okay, some investment accounts. Some of you that get a lot of money or want to invest in your children's future, you can do the 529 college savings plan, um, which is specifically designed for educational expenses only. Okay, so it offers tax advantages for qualified educational expenses. Okay, custodial accounts, they are UGMA and UTMA. Okay, Uniform Gift of Minors Act, and then you have the Uniform Transfer of Minors Act. That account allows parents to invest on their children's behalf. You can invest on their behalf, and then the children gain control of the asset once they get a specific age that you set. So once they get a certain age, it could be 18, it could be 21, it could be 25. So the UGMA and the UTMA is used for you to invest for them, and then they take over at a certain age, whatever age you put on there. And then you have the Coverdale Education Savings Account, which is a tax-free withdrawal that qualifies for educational expenses. And then you have a Roth IRA for kids. So it's so many different ways that you can save. And so you don't have to do the traditional way. You can do these. Okay, you can do the 529 college plan. You can do the custodial accounts to the UGMA, UTMA. You can do the Coverdale educational savings account. You can do the Roth IRAs. It all depends on how you want to look at it, right? But you go to a financial advisor, because I am not one. I just know of these because of the research I've done and some of the things I've done for my daughter. You go and you do the research on your own, and you find a financial advisor to help you navigate what's best for you. So, like I said, you savings. It doesn't have to be a traditional savings. It can be investment accounts as well. But just make sure you consider all the parameters. You create a budgeting game. All these kids getting all this money for Christmas. Listen, they need to learn how to budget that money, right? So show them how to do that. Invest in stocks for them. Take that money. Like I said, take 10% of it that they're getting for Christmas. Because like I said, I always let my child live off of 80%, 10% for savings, 10% for investing. Take that 10% and invest in something that they like. Robux, Lego, whatever it is, invest it. Let them choose. And y'all do the research on the company. Study, the trends. Study their earnings. Study how, it's going up and down. And if you don't have, if you're not educated enough to do it, then, do your own research and find out how to do it, or, consult somebody that or, some type of stock mentor. I know some, so I can suggest some. Financial literacy gifts, that'll be the third thing, right? Or the fourth thing. There are so many books that especially if you have avid readers, that can teach your children about financial literacy. Like I said, if you have an elementary school student, one of the best books is the Berenstain Bears book. Make sure I get the right one. I used to love Berenstain Bears. The Trouble with Money for elementary school. I had suggested like 3 for each. Toothpaste Millionaire and Lemonade War are 2 good ones for middle school. And then high school, you have Rich Dad Poor Dad for teens and the Official Money Guide for teenagers. The Millionaire Next Door is not specifically for teens, but if you have a teenager who's very savvy, who's very high in comprehension level, that'll work for them. But the best one is Rich Dad Poor Dad for teens, and Official Money Guide for teenagers. Give them the gift that keeps on giving, right? And then the last thing is invest is give to charitable um you know, organizations in their name. Show them what you're doing with this money that they're going to get. Some of these kids get hundreds of dollars for Christmas, and they're not going to do nothing but buy frivolous things, Takis and video games, and buy all the crap. Let them invest this money so it can grow and they can have more money. So it's so many different things that you can do to help your children be more financially literate. Like I said, it's up to you. But I bid you adieu. It's lunchtime. I gotta go. I'm already over my time. So I will see you tomorrow for Real Estate Tuesday. Everybody have a blessed day. Bye.